Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've posted a video and I wanted to talk to you today about me eating my words on not moving back to the iPhone. So as you can guess, today's video is on why I've been drawn back to the iPhone. So recently I switched to the Samsung 22 Ultra, which I just want to get off the bat straight away. It's a really nice phone. If it wasn't for the reasons that I'm going to discuss in this video, I would quite happily carried on using that phone. Has a few little niggly bits which I will touch on, but anyway, let's delve into some of the reasons as to why firstly I've decided to go back to the iPhone. Now I've classified these into four main areas. So it's the Apple Watch, Facetime, Apple Carplay, and in general the ecosystem that Apple has built, which really does, if you are deep in it, keeps you really in that ecosystem. So let's crack on. I'm going to talk about the Apple Watch first. So I kept my Apple Watch when I got rid of my other iPhone to move to the Samsung S22 Ultra, knowing that there was always the possibility that this was going to happen. Now granted, I wasn't thinking it was going to happen quite as quickly as it has done, but there you go, it has. And this is probably the main reason why I've switched back. I really do love the Apple Watch. I've been using the Galaxy Watch, the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, which is a really nice watch. It looks like a watch in the fact that it's got that circular look to it. But for me, there was something about the Apple Watch that really just draws me in. Those activity rings, although you have them on other smartwatches, for some reason I pay more attention to the ones that are on the Apple Watch. I have no idea why. Maybe because they are so in your face. I love the different designs that you can get on changing the faces. Again, nothing different to what you can do on another watch. I love the fact that you can have the different bands. Again, no different, but I just find that you've got more choice of bands on the Apple Watch than you do on other watches. And I love my Nomad bands that I have. So you can go from having a sports style looking watch, especially when I'm playing hockey, to a more upmarket sophisticated look, which the Nomad does, which is like the Apple Link one, but obviously a lot cheaper than that, but still a premium product. So yes, for me, I'm back to that, back to tracking my activities with my friends who all have the Apple Watch as well. So another key reasons for moving back to the iPhone was FaceTime. Most of my family have iPhones, and obviously with the pandemic and living, in different areas of the country, I would FaceTime daily. And when I moved to the Samsung, I was using WhatsApp. Now, it worked, but it wasn't quite as good as an experience as that you get with FaceTime. I found the quality of the video wasn't as good, and the audio was also not as good. And there was just something about FaceTime where it just feels like it's not glitchy. The volume control, the quality of the audio that's coming through, and it's just easier when everybody's on it. Some people weren't on WhatsApp, or weren't quite as comfortable using WhatsApp. I know that there is other services, I think Google Duo out there that you can use, but for me, compared to what the WhatsApp's experience was, FaceTime is just so much better in my opinion, and obviously it works across all of my devices, so on my Apple iPad and also on my MacBook. One that got me, that I wasn't expecting to be that bothered about, was the Apple CarPlay. Now, I have a Mini Countryman, and the Minis do not support the Android version of CarPlay. I think if they did, again, I would have quite happily used that. I wasn't expecting to be that bothered by it, because I could still connect to my Bluetooth, I could still take phone calls, but I missed the display that it comes with. When you get into your car and it connects, you've got the apps that show up on your little dash in the middle, where you've got your WhatsApp, your messages, your Audible. You can use that as a secondary sat nav. So I have my in-car sat nav, but I like to use Google Maps in some instances because I think it's actually better than the sat nav that I've got in my car. So it just all links through really nicely, whereas on the Samsung I kind of felt that it was limited in the functionality to the fact that all I could really do was make phone calls. So for me, that took me a little bit by surprise. And obviously I'm not going to change my car for a phone, so the phone was a cheaper option. And also I'm just about to get a new Mini in a few months' time, and again, they just support CarPlay. So moving on to the other point that I really wanted to touch on, and it covers all the points above really, and that's the actual ecosystem itself. So I did a blog post not too long ago to say, could you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out of that ecosystem? And I still believe that what I said in that article is true. You can, but it all depends on the depth in which you are in that ecosystem. So for me, I was heavily in that ecosystem. My car is in there, my family are already all within the Apple. I have a MacBook, I have an iPad, you know, all of those things, the Apple Watch. So it just made sense for me to stay with that in that ecosystem. And as everyone says, it just works. And I like the fact that it just works. So if I've made some notes on one, not that I use Apple Notes that much, but it syncs across all my devices. All my contacts are synced across all my devices. All my music is synced across all those devices because I'm now back using Apple Music. So it just makes it that much easier. So yeah, I've got rid of the Samsung S22 Ultra, and yeah, like I said previously, it was a good phone. I think the iPhone does have a couple of added bits on top of that are better than the Samsung in terms of the I think the software is slightly better, it's less buggy. I think a few YouTubers have already talked about the fact that the Equinox chip that we have in the UK is not as good as the Snapdragon version, so you do get a little bit of lag, a little bit of jitter. I didn't find that bad at all, really. I didn't notice it too much. I think the thing that I noticed more as time got on was the battery life. So when I was going to bed, I would have 10-15% left. Whereas now I've gone back to the iPhone, I'm actually on the Pro Max, that has, you know, I've still got 70% when I go to bed. So, you know, it just blows it out of the water when it comes to the battery life. I am going to miss certain things. I will miss the screen on that phone because it was truly lovely. I do like certain things. I actually prefer WhatsApp on the Samsung, which is a little bit different, I guess. And the customization, although that was one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Samsung, I found myself not using it that much, and I don't know if that's just because I was lazy and didn't want to mess around with it, or I just really liked the UI that was on there. So going back to Apple is actually not that big of a deal because I wasn't actually customizing it as much as I was. So yeah, those are the reasons why I've generally moved back to Apple. God knows what's going to happen in the future. I seem to change my mind like it's going out of fashion, but at the moment Apple is where I'm kind of wedded to and hope to stick there. But yeah, I've enjoyed my Android experience, and I would recommend, if people are looking for something slightly different that is not Apple, then yeah, go and have a look at the Samsung and also the Google Pixel. That was a lovely phone as well. But yeah, so thank you for rambling, and I'm going to thanks for listening to me rambling, should I say? And I'm not going to make any bold statements like I'm going to stick with the iPhone for 12 months to 2 years, because you know things do change. But yeah, thanks for listening, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.